All right, for more on the NGC, we cross live again to the Birchwood Hotel where we find SABC News reporter Natasha Phiri. Good afternoon again, Natasha. A short while ago, you spoke to analyst Professor Lisiba Defu, who, among others, made the statement that not all who don't wear ANC colours are enemies of the political party, essentially imploring the party to truly take the views of patriotic citizens into account. What else have others shared on the side of analysis just on this occasion of the 5th NGC?
Well, Mfunda, before we actually get to the analysis, as I was actually talking to you on air, while Madala Masuku of the SACP was just giving his message of support, talking about the SACP's decision to go it alone and contest the 2026 elections independently, ANC delegates actually booed him. Mfunda, of course, we will get this clip and play it for our SABC viewers later on, but these are just also one of the salient points that will be discussed here. Not only that, Mfundo, but also just looking at the alliance as well, a weakened alliance. We saw the numbers there on Saturday at COSATU's 40th anniversary that they were celebrating in Dobsonville. Quite low numbers for the federation movement. It also just comes at a time, Mfundo, where, the SACP is not happy with some decisions that the ANC took, mainly one of joining the government of national unity. Of course, they've now decided that, listen, they will contest the elections alone, but of course this decision not boding quite well with the delegates that are actually in attendance. I'm now joined by ANC NGC member Dixon Masemula, who some also know as a Deputy Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, and I'll just try my luck, probably get a reaction from him first of how delegates actually reacted to the SACP's decision of going it alone at the elections.
Well, the African National Congress, and in particular this National General Council, respect the Congress decision that the SACP took to basically consider an electoral contest in the coming municipal elections. We strongly respect that decision of the party, and to the extent that today here in this meeting, the delegates of the ANC, as we are convened here, they will be receiving an organizational midterm report that is going to be presented by the Secretary General of the ANC. And quite understandably, as we have discussed it in the NEC, amongst other issues, there will be a report on the state of the alliance and to the extent to which we have had continuous engagement with the SACP. And therefore, in relation to what the party has decided at some point, this General Council will have to adjudicate politically so on the current political developments around which probably these delegates might have responded in one way or the other to the message of support of the SACP. And that is why the national chair said the good thing about the ANC is that you've got to listen to the things that you want to hear and also that you don't want to hear. But politically, what is uppermost to this platform, it is about the discussions that are going to ensue in discussing the report of the Secretary General on behalf of the NEC, and to the extent to which we will find a way, because the leadership of the COSATU of Sango, as you might have heard them, they equally said this alliance is not a matter of choice, it's not optional, it is historical, it is important, it is fundamental, and we, all of us agree as the NEC of the ANC that this alliance must be nurtured. The discussions must be, pursued to the extent that we can be able to save and advance the national democratic revolution collectively together, notwithstanding other issues. Like I've said, we respect the decision of the party, and therefore this NGC will adjudicate on that matter. Probably by Thursday, there will be much more clarity on how do we proceed organizationally and politically as the ANC.
And Mr. Masomela, while you respect the decision of the SACP, you can't run away from the fact that if they've made this decision to go it alone at the polls, it will actually hurt the ANC and the alliance broadly, because you've dropped to 40%. You're going to the local government elections without a key strategic alliance partner.
That is the reason why we value the alliance as a strategic platform of engagement and relations, which we say it's not a matter of options. It's a must that the alliance must and should remain very strong. And within the context of a decision that was made, which we respect organizationally. We believe very strongly that as we continue to find a way to navigate through political and organizational discussion and engagements between and amongst ourselves as the alliance, we shall be able to basically find a way out of this situation. All of us stand to fail because as the alliance, we are responsible for social transformation in this country. And to the extent that we have moved 31 years into our democracy, it was not a singular mandate and a journey traveled by the ANC alone. It was together with its allied forces. And even now, we still feel very strongly that moving into the future, this alliance remains very strategic, it remains very important, and the ANC, as the leader of the alliance, has got a responsibility to try as much as we could. And that is why up till this point in time, we firmly believe that we will find each other together with the SACP. And therefore, we are not throwing our hands in air as a result of that. We strongly believe that the leadership of the party, working together with us, the general membership of both the ANC and the SACP, are responsible for social transformation in this country. This NGC will definitely provide leadership in this regard. We will need each other more than ever before, mindful of the electoral setbacks we have suffered last year. If we continue on this trajectory, most probably the future might not be what we see at the moment. And that is not what we want to see moving into the future. We want a strong African National Congress together with its allies still working together very strongly, focusing on the issues of national importance, delivering services, facilitating development, working on the economy, ensuring that South Africans do get jobs, opportunities, and we actually ensure prosperity. Millions of our people are unemployed. So we can't be, finding ourselves talking past each other at the point when people of South Africa are looking forward to that leadership from both of us as the SACP and as well as the African National Congress.
Let's look at other matters also close to your heart. Okay, studio's just telling me that my time is up. We will catch up with you, of course, later on. Thank you so much for your time. Fundo, just reflecting on, what actually happened earlier on inside. Of course, ANC members visibly not happy at the SACP's decision to go alone at the polls. And what Mr. Masemola said is that ANC members now need to flesh out this decision by the SACP. I'm reminded of COSATU's president, Zingi Salosi, earlier on last week, just saying that, listen, the CEC has made a decision to support the ANC at the polls, but of course, the modalities of how they will actually do this will need to be fleshed out between those alliance partners. What we're seeing right now is that members, ANC members, have now broken for lunch. Fundo, of course, they will come back. That political report still needs to be tabled, the financial report, of course, and then delegates will then break into those various commissions and focus on that 72-page base documents of the NGC. With that said, it's back to you in studio.
All right, Natasha, thank you very much for that comprehensive reportage. And I suppose that booing reflective of the very difficult decisions and debates that must take place there. And of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa in his political overview calling for greater ideological clarity beyond this conference, where we know that when it comes to the SACP, indeed, they have decided to go it alone. Among the issues was them being strongly opposed to the decision to enter into a government of national unity with the Democratic Alliance, again with analysts saying that that alone is a denial of the reality and the political situation on the ground today, that ideologically they may have not preferred to enter into a coalition with the Democratic Alliance because they differ significantly, but perhaps the time that they live in now and the material conditions that exist need for the ANC to be willing to coalesce and work with other political parties.